So first of all,
they are not separate
I know that
entities.
we all received the flyer entering this meeting from this alternate proxy group.
I'm not an alternate proxy group, by the
And
way. I
secondly,
didn't approve my name to be on that. I just feel like the neighbors should understand what changes are going on.
When you signed proxy, so.
Hey, please, I have a quick question for Peter, actually. So on the flyer, it says that the Somerset View crew is intending to amend the covenants, right? To essentially block all remodels and to make the protected view what is the loop.
No, that's not the case. Don't put words in your mouth.
It doesn't
I
say
would like to
that.
ask Peter,
You're
I would
not
like to
blocking
ask
all
Peter
remodels.
No.
the following question,
Anybody
right?
can
So
remodel
me as a
the house.
homeowner who lives here, right? If the view is intended to be that you cannot build anything, then I bought the home under
We did not
false
say that.
pretenses,
We did
right?
not say that.
Please,
That's not our intention.
I'm asking the question.
Well,
Your question is.
if you think you can build and block someone else's view, then yeah, you better be false
Sir,
intention.
Let
If
your-
let me
somebody-
ask the question, right?
I think you're being selfish. Go ahead, keep
Okay,
talking.
your behavior at this meeting is being very selfish to everyone's time because we all had to waste an extra 30 minutes.
All right.
I would appreciate if you
30
would amend
minutes
your
over.
question to not be so
Bobby, can you
absolute.
come
So-
calm
We
down?
did not say you're blocking all remodels.
Anyways.
Hey, Johannes, can you let Peter?
I would like to ask a question to Peter, right? So in
Have you
any
already communicated
amendment
with Peter on
that
this?
would change what essentially is the protected view, is that allowed to be approved with a simple majority?
Yes.
Or would that require 100%?
A
Because
simple majority
what-
is in the bylaws.
I've read cases that say.
Can I be heard for a minute, please?
Sorry, Peter, I'll let you go.
It is true that in the bylaws it says 50%, which by the way kind of surprised me. Because most of the covenants I've worked with have a higher percentage for covenant amendments. However, it is also true, as I don't know who just said that there are Washington appellate cases, including the Washington Court of Appeals and Supreme Court, that say, you know what, folks, even if the covenants say you can amend with 50%, if the effect of the amendment is to substantially alter the rights that were originally established under the covenants, no can do. And so covenant amendments that go and this is based on the judgment of the court, that go too far in changing rights, establishing new rights, eliminating existing rights, can be voided even if they were adopted by 50%. And there's one case, for example, and I didn't think you folks are going to want kind of a lecture on case law, but there's a case, I think it's called Surecki, Suriecki, something like that. Phil Talmadge was on that case, who was former Washington Supreme Court justice. He was one of the winning lawyers, and that happened there, where an amendment was voided, and it's happened. Another case as well. So it's not as black and white as anyone thinks. It really depends. If you adopt something that changes someone's right to remodel or add something, or that impinges on a clearly protected by the original covenant's view, then you may end up getting that amendment voided, and it really goes back to not what people think about what the intent was of the covenants adopted way back when, but what do the covenants say? So that's the short answer. And I realize it wasn't short, but for a lawyer, that's pretty short.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter.
Ask a question.
Yes.
It's my understanding.
Oh, you want to?
No, that's okay. It's my understanding that you have approved that people can add another section onto their homes.
So we don't want to generalize it, right? It's not about whether or not we want to approve second stories or whatever. It's dependent case by case. So for example.
So some have been done, right?
I mean, the original building committee also approved some second stories.
Okay. I just like to ask the people.
It depends on the location of it, yeah.
If somebody built another story on the home in front of you, next to you, I don't think you would be happy with it.
Can't do it.
I mean, I look at my view, and if the people right below me put another story on their house, I would be livid, just livid.
Yeah, I understand the emotions.
Okay.
Are they under the covenants? Are they?
Yeah, it just depends on what the covenants say. And I'm telling you, we're just volunteers here, we're just the CRC, right?
Well, the covenants protect the existing views.
So the covenants don't specifically say that. However, what I want to say from all of our CSC members.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, I don't care what that attorney says. Our community will bind together and we will save our views. We will save our views. I'm not gonna let, there's nothing that says, some little technicality or restrictions, this or that. We want to save our, you can look at Somerset and you can see all the
And
flat.
we are here to protect your views, Russell.
Well, you are trying to build a second story.
I'm not.
Second story.
You
And you've got the mother going,
I saw your
First of
house.
all-
Your house is right in front of her house.
First of all, I have
How
not.
arrogant. How
Speculation.
self-centered do you think that you can build a second story
I have
right in
not
front of her
built a
house?
second story.
Because they have to deny you, and our attorneys had to write you letters not to do
You didn't
that.
write me a letter, you wrote the CRC to threaten me.
Okay, I
But-
wrote the CRC
okay,
not to
all right.
approve her
So
second
this
You
story.
just told us
is
to move out of the neighborhood, right?
You also told us that public review wasn't impacted on the So,
why don't you move out of the neighborhood?
that's exactly what you said.
You told us.
Bring your mother-in-law with you, move out of the neighborhood.
I don't think you're gonna make it. I said find another house.
That's the kind of
Find
people
another
that